Welcome to Retro Reco. I'm Shane.
And I'm Kyle.
And on this podcast, we recommend movies to each other that the other one hasn't seen. This week's recommendation was Kyle's. Kyle, what you recommend?
I recommended Mean Girls from 2004, directed by Mark Waters and written by Tina Fey.
Hmm? You did.
Yeah, and Shane had not seen this movie before. What was your BS excuse again for why you hadn't seen this?
I didn't wanna.
It
Did I have
wasn't
an
it
extent
wasn't
like
it wasn't it a joke that somebody thought you stole from this movie that you're
oh,
yeah.
well, no, that did annoy me, and then I got mad at the movie when I heard them say it. But no, my dad used to tell a joke when I was a kid, where he would say when he would like predict something or something like that. He go, it's like I'm psychotic. I got ESPN. Um, and then they make that joke in this movie, and I'm like, hey, that's a dad joke that my dad says. Don't do that. But and I've jokingly have told people that's why I haven't watched it. But mostly I didn't want to.
Yeah.
There was a couple times where I had opportunities to. Like there was one time I was on a bus ride from Omaha to Kansas City with a bunch of people, and they were oh no, it was a bus ride from Omaha to Minneapolis. Weirdly enough,
Oh, okay.
for show choir, and they were playing this movie on the bus ride, and I muted mine and went to sleep. Um, so that was the only opportunity I ever really had openly to watch it. I've had people be like, "Hey, you want to watch this movie?" And I said no
Yeah.
because it just didn't look good to me.
So was I well, I guess that's the reveal at the end of the episode is whether you actually liked it or not, but
We'll be able to pick up the hints here throughout.
yeah, I think we'll be able to pick up the hints before well, no, I guess like yeah, it would be more the end is always cuz it obviously it's been a little bit of a time since we recorded.
We had a
Um
hiatus, about a
little bit of a
4 month hiatus.
hiatus.
It's been longer than 4 months. When did you move? August?
August.
Oh yeah, like a 6 month hiatus. Yeah,
Yeah, things happen. Life got busy, but we're
yeah.
all good now. Many things have changed, but yeah. So
I have
so
a dog.
did so yeah. You have a dog now, who you might hear in the background.
He doesn't bark.
No, but just anytime he walks, like you can sometimes hear his collar.
Oh really? Oh neat.
Yeah,
No
it's
squeaky
interesting.
toys though,
No
because
squeaky
he
toys.
he
Okay.
he basically destroyed all of those.
Oh, of course he did. Um,
Yep.
but all right. So Shane, did you like the did you end up liking the movie at all?
So I mean, the short answer is no.
Okay.
The long answer is I there so there I had like three really good laughs during it.
Okay. That's
Every
better.
single
That's better than some comedies I've seen you watch. So.
that's true. Every single one of those laughs was Tim Meadows.
Oh, okay. Yep.
Tim
Um.
Meadows said something, and it was like a really big laugh for me. So I found that I had sent you a text sort of to this
Yep.
account. I found that I really enjoyed the teachers in this movie, and then everything involving the kids. I was just like, I do not care. like
Yeah.
I was trying to, like I was trying to, submerge myself in it and like think back, like, hey, when I was this age, what would I have thought of it? And I don't know. Like it's just not. I probably missed the boat on the time period that I would have enjoyed this.
That is one of the things that for sure I was like, ooh, even in watching it back, I'm like, it's not that this is aged well. There's a couple things, but a couple little phrasing things that don't age
Yeah,
quite
they
as well.
use the
But
R word a lot, but I mean, it's also you got to understand like time periods with that. It's
yeah,
like watching Blazing Saddles.
yep,
Like there are
exactly.
certain things that you just have to take with a grain of salt and appreciate a movie for,
Yep,
because of a time period that the other some things can you can get away with some things like the jerks like that too.
yeah,
You can get away with some things because of the time period, and you have to put your mindset there. And there was one thing that I felt like they shouldn't have gotten away with, and they shouldn't have joked about in this movie, but they did. So,
yeah,
but we'll get to that.
yeah. We'll get to that. Um, Yeah, but like overall, I enjoyed this movie, but I also saw it when it came out, so it has a tinge of nostalgia for me. This is very much and it like it's almost a gift that keeps on giving too, because actually in watching it this time, so one of the previous times that I watched it was right after I watched Party Down.
I
And
like Pretty Down.
I love Party Down, and I for some reason forgot Lizzie Kaplan is also in this movie. And it's like, oh yeah, this is where I know Lizzie Kaplan from. Because she's also in Party Down. But so one of the homeschool kids is one of the main actors in the TV show The Players.
Oh, is it?
I'm like, this kid has a really weird looking head. He kind of looks like this guy from Players. And it's like, oh my God, it is that guy from Players. What the heck?
I do need to finish that series. I started it and I enjoyed it, and then
Yeah,
I stopped.
he's the manager.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Huh. But it's off of. They took it off of Paramount Plus, from my understanding, and I believe you can watch it on YouTube now.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out, because I had a crush on Lizzie Kaplan, but I never saw this movie, and I was trying to figure out where I had a crush on her from.
Pre-Party Down?
I think it was pre-party. I think it was Hot Tub Time Machine. So it would have been
Okay.
right around the time of Party Down. So yeah, it was probably that combo. Because it would have been right around the end of college. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yep, so it would have been that combo. And there's a new Party Down season coming out soon.
Yeah, I just saw that. So yeah, it's fitting timing that we finally get around to this. Ironically enough, and this is also a point of contention between the two of us, if we would have gotten to our schedule before our hiatus, this episode would have come out on October 3rd.
I would not have enjoyed that. I also don't even remember them saying that in the movie. I watched that whole movie and I went,
line,
when
yeah.
did they say it?
The first time she talks to him.
Oh, okay. I completely missed it.
Yeah.
And October 3rd is it's a Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood and Full Metal Alchemist thing, not a Mean Girls thing.
Yeah. Oh, Lizzie Kaplan was also one of the party girls in Orange County.
Oh, I love Orange County.
I know. So that might have been it.
That could have been.
And maybe one episode of Undeclared. Oh, or Freaks and Geeks.
There's someone that came into my work that looks like Mike White, which is relevant because he wrote Orange County.
He wrote Orange County, yeah.
Yep. And to show it to my coworker, I had to pull up a picture of him from School of Rock.
Okay, yep.
And that's when I found out that he wrote White Lotus too. So.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So he's getting accolades for that
he's
right now.
Very much accolades.
We are on such a tangent.
Oh, of course we are.
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. Well, it's just, since you didn't like this movie as much. But no, there are so many, I forgot, because you texted that to me while I was watching it as well. And it was right before the scene in the auditorium, which is the other big Tim Meadows line of
that was one of them that I believe that was one that I laughed at. I laughed for sure on his first entrance. He said something that made me laugh. I didn't write down the quotes though. I wasn't even thinking about it.
His nephew named Anthony.
That one made me laugh. and remind myself that I'm not mad that they named him Anthony.
Yeah, because when all the things happen with the burn book, he goes, "I ought to cancel Spring Fling, but we already paid the DJ."
Yep, that made me laugh.
I will keep you here all night. We can't actually keep them here until past 4. I will keep you here until 4.
Yep, that actually was the one that made me laugh.
That one's in the trailer. and like it is one of the biggest laughs in the entire movie, even for me. So it's like I wish that wasn't in the trailer, but it's so good.
The other big laugh from him for me was at the prom when he said, "I'm so happy that this year is over,"
Yeah,
and I laughed at that too,
yeah, it
because
is.
it's very much sounds like something a teacher that's at the end of their wits would say in that spot. So
Yeah. Um, but yeah, just overall, it just reminds me high school sucked, and people are awful towards each other.
my high school was not like this as well. That which might also be part of it. Like, yeah, there's people like people had their groups, but like it wasn't all the Asians sitting together. Like it wasn't like this was so full. Like, and I get that the joke was the stereotypes for some of it, but
Yeah.
just so heavy on the stereotypes that I was just like that. I was doing a lot of cringing throughout especially uh, the first half of the movie
Okay.
when they're like trying to introduce the premise.
Yes.
I found myself cringing a lot
Yeah.
to like the way that they were introducing. Like it felt like it felt like an adult's way of looking at kids, but every time they went, but it worked every time they went to the adult perspective of it. But then every time they went to like the teenager's perspective of it, it felt like a caricature again. So, which
Okay.
is why I think I enjoyed the teachers more, is that they were real people compared to the all the cartoon characters that were teenagers in this movie.
Yeah. Well, because I mean, like Katie grows during the movie and like learns the lesson by the end of, you've got to treat people, with respect and all that kind of stuff. And
No, she wasn't on all that. I know it's hard, but that was Amanda
that was
Bynes.
Amanda Bynes. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. So like she learns and grows as a person, and then figures out that if we ever have to deal with this problem again, we can just hit three other girls with a bus. uh
Oh, that was also I didn't know that was going to happen. Although when I realized it was going to happen when they were standing out in the streets, and I was like, oh, it's um why am I blanking on the Chekhov's gun? I was like, it's Chekhov's bus.
oh yeah, yep.
It is, but I didn't realize it when she first almost got hit by a bus. Because why would I think that someone else is going to get hit by a bus right there? I thought it was just a quick gag to like do like the scared parents. And then when they're standing in the street arguing, I went, oh, she's about to get hit by a bus, but
Yeah,
I wasn't sure which one it was going to be. And then yeah,
yeah,
and so that was
which
surprise. I just went, what?
yeah,
And
yeah,
then they
yeah, I
said
was like,
she's dead, and I went weird, okay. And then they said no, she's not. And I was like, okay.
yeah,
Like it wasn't a laugh moment for me by them saying she's dead and then saying she wasn't, but it was a that's a weird choice.
yeah. Well, as we have seen in her writing career later, Tina Fey makes weird choices sometimes.
Yeah.
But because I mean, this is pre 30 Rock, like right before 30 Rock would have started.
This isn't during.
Oh wait, yeah, maybe it's during.
What was this? 04?
This is 04.
Came out while I was in high school. So yeah.
Yeah, 30
God,
Rock was
we're old.
06 to 2013.
Okay, so yeah, it was right before.
So yeah.
We're old.
Yeah, we
It's
are.
unfortunate.
But it is during Scrubs, but before the middle for Neil Flynn.
Oh, okay. I was like, forgot for a moment that he was in this movie.
Yeah, because he's her dad.
Yep.
But fantastic. The cast for this movie is so good. You know,
The first thing I wrote down is Rachel McAdams 14 in this movie? Because she looked like she was 14 years old, and I know that she's supposed to, but like as in like the actress herself, like
she was young, but this is a year. This is only a year before Wedding Crashers.
huh. For some reason I thought you were gonna say Notebook, but
No, this is the same year as Notebook.
I never saw Notebook, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah, you're okay with that. That will not be on my recommended list because I think it's really hacky.
Good.
But yeah, so yeah, Katie is played by Lindsay Lohan during, peak Lindsay Lohan. This is right after Freaky Friday, which was also directed by Mark Waters. And so Katie's our main character. The rest of the plastics are Rachel McAdams as Regina George, Lacey Chabert as Gretchen Wieners, uh, Amanda Seyfried as Karen Smith. So we have two Cosettes in one movie
Yep.
because Lacey Chabert played young Cosette when she was very young, pre Party of Five, even. And then Amanda Seyfried played Cosette in the movie version. Lizzie Kaplan, Daniel Frazese, I believe is how it's pronounced, are Janice and Damon, who I realize are my favorite characters from this movie.
I mean, they're the ones that I when I see them, I go, oh, that's, I mean, probably closest to like, no, they weren't. Him maybe is closest to like the kind of people I would hang out with high school.
Yeah,
Like someone that vindictive and mean, I wouldn't, probably not as much for her,
yeah.
for the
There
Janice
there
character.
is there is yeah there is that thing that for sure. That Janice is a little vindictive, for sure. Um, but also like they say things back and forth that's when Katie realizes like, hey, maybe these are jokes that I can make with my friends, but I shouldn't say to other people who don't know them. Calling Damon too gay to function.
Yep. I
And
didn't realize Amy Poehler was going to be in this.
yeah, Amy Poehler's in this. It's still when I did not like Amy Poehler, so
I would call this maybe her worst role. Like she, it wasn't that she was bad; she was playing the part well. I like, I found the character to be like, it was the only adult, or I guess not the only adult, but one of the few adults that was also a caricature that I found gross.
yeah, I can see
Um,
that. Um,
it wasn't my least favorite adult in this movie. I'll get to
uh,
that soon.
yeah. Well, yeah. Let's get to that. What was your least favorite?
So the joke that they played up a few times that I really just, I even in the time
Yep.
period couldn't believe that they did it, was the coach hooking up with the students.
Yeah, yeah. I
Like,
kind of forgot that happened until the rewatch, and it's like, oh yeah, they did make that joke. That didn't
not only
age
did
well.
they didn't make that joke once, they made that joke, doubled down on that joke, and then like went all in on the joke. Like
Yeah,
they found ways to really push that joke down for you. Like at the end, there were like, once he fled the school, we realized that some of these are true, and just like, like this, that was probably my cringiest of cringes for this movie. Was just, of all the things, some of the stuff was like, yeah, it doesn't age well, kind of thing, but
yeah,
like you can get past it. That's one of those things I was like, find it weird that they even went there,
yeah, yeah. I can see that for sure. Um,
because it didn't add anything.
yeah, it didn't add that much. One of those characters is the new queen bee that Gretchen, serves at the end. Because Gretchen's very much a follower, and that's why in None for Gretchen Wieners. Um, which that's like, it is so weird how easily manipulated some of the characters are, and just seeing the breaking point that each of them have. Just a little thing like, oh, Katie got a Valentine, but I didn't, is enough to, make Gretchen go down this downward spiral of emotions.
I mean, the stuff like that felt realish,
Yeah.
just because things like that would do that in high school. Like people were petty. Like high schoolers are petty by nature because they don't know better. Like,
Yeah. One of the things, like, I'm looking in my notes, one of the things I wish it wasn't the coach that was also the health teacher. because one of my favorite cuts is to the jokes is when Katie skips class for the first time with Gretch or Janice and Damon. Uh, it's like, and I'll never know what we learned about that first day in health class, and it's just the coach saying, "Do not have sex. You will get pregnant."
No, he says you will get syphilis, right? Or chlamydia? Was it chlamydia?
Chlamydia is a later one.
Oh, that's a later
Yeah,
one.
that's a
Okay.
later one, but because they kind of do two versions of that joke.
Mm.
Um, but yeah,
Um,
I'm
yeah,
sorry that you didn't enjoy it as much.
hey, that's
But
fine.
yeah,
It was pretty much exactly what I expected it to be.
okay,
I get why people liked it. Like, I don't think that this is a bad movie. I just don't think it's I like I said, I probably missed the boat on when I would have enjoyed it by,
okay,
not wanting to watch it for years.
yeah,
Um, but it's not a really a movie for me, I would say.
yeah. It is so crazy in hindsight, just the fact that in some ways, like Lindsay Lohan might have be the least successful of the plastics after this movie.
I was actually going to ask you, who do you think had the best career after this movie? Because
I honestly feel like it's Amanda Seyfried.
I was going to argue Amanda Seyfried because I feel like that. I mean, the answers are Seyfried or Rachel McAdams,
Yeah. Well,
and
and because well,
I think it's Amanda
but then
Seyfried.
again, Lacey Chabert is in every Hallmark Christmas movie.
Oh, she
All
has
of
a
them,
career. Yeah,
all of them. There's she's in every single one. So like she's done the most. Plus she's also Zatanna in Young Justice. So special place in my heart for that. Um, but yeah, I want to say it's probably actually Amanda Seyfried.
I
Um,
mean, if you talk about being in successful movies, it's probably Rachel McAdams just because she's
yeah,
in a bunch of the Marvel movies.
yeah,
But I
that's
think
true.
Seyfried has the most, um, probably has the most number, like the highest number of movies that were successful that she was in, is my
Yeah,
guess. But
yeah, and this is her first film too.
this is her very first film.
This is her very first film.
Oh, interesting.
Um, yeah, I guess I think she's probably the lead in more like she's the lead in Dope Sick and stuff like that. So and both of those Mamma Mia movies made bank.
Jennifer's Body is an underrated movie.
Yep, Jennifer's Body, yeah, is super underrated. Because that was Diablo Cody, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
that
that
was
wrote
like
that
her big one after
after
Juno, I believe.
Juno. Yeah,
I don't know if she did anything between them, but
uh, she does, but I'm blanking on it in the moment. Because I think it was another collaboration with Jason Reitman.
mm,
But yeah, I enjoyed this movie a lot. Shane at least recognizes that it was a good movie, that it was a well-made movie, and that's the one thing. Like you can never knock Tina Fey's structure in how she tells a story. Like some of the specific jokes and beats might not be exactly to everyone's liking, but like as an overall tale, like this does exactly what it needs to do from beginning to end.
yeah, I mean, it. Yeah, yes, it does.
Yeah.
I didn't really have anything to add there, and I realized it right away.
Yep. All good. So Shane, what is your pick for our next episode?
So, being as this would have come out at the beginning of October, the one after that would have come out near the end of October, so I decided to go with a horror movie.
Oh, that was the rationale for it. Okay.
Yeah, we'll say it was.
Okay.
Uh, So I'm going with a movie that came out last year called Barbarian.
Okay.
Now this movie got a lot of hype. It's written and directed by One of the Whitest Kids You Know, which is a comedy sketch group, and it's to me it was one of my bigger surprises of last year when I saw it. So I thought it would be a really good one for us to check out.
Cool. I literally know nothing about this movie. I've heard of the title before, but I literally never saw any trailers or anything beforehand. So yeah, on your recommendation, I'll check it out.
All right, sounds good. I'm excited to chat. Be good to each other. What's my sign off on this?
Yeah, that's always your sign off for that.
Be good to each other.